The previous analysis of the company allows us to make a search of markets aligned as much as possible with their capabilities. Understanding capabilities not as capacities, which is not the same. Capacity is the current situation that we are able to manage. Capability means that the situation we are open to get there. What are the things that the company is more prepared and have already developed to approach another market? The traditional criteria are usually logistical and cultural proximity in order to face a new market. The nearer is the market, the better cost you will have in logistics, and of course, if they speak the same language than you, that it will be also easier for you. No? The degree of maturity of the market for our product is also very important. If we have previous experience in these markets, market suitability according to international sector reports, giving you market research in order to understand which one was the most suitable for you. It's also important to consider a rising economies which present good business opportunities for the company. So also nowadays we have to pay attention to the online business maturity of the market for our products, since this can completely change the way of approaching, of penetrating the market. So once you have this first pre-selection, let's say 8 to 10 markets, then we have to analyze in depth inside of them, first of all, in my opinion, sales potential for your company. So it means demographic and turnover data of the sector. It's worth to invest in that country. We are going to take the figures that we are willing for. Of course, possible tariff and legal barriers or commercial agreements that facilitate the commercial relationship. Political situation, it's also important. You have to check out that there is an existence of a real target group. If there is a market penetration of the type of product, maturity of the market, main players and distribution channel, what is the level of competition, competitors are working already there, and as I told at the beginning, ease of access according to the company's capabilities. So we'll to adapt our current capacity or developing it to adapt to the new markets. Once you have the 3-4 markets that are more suitable for your company, then you start executing the plan. Tells us that the main challenges that you have to face are inside the company where you are starting. The first thing is to beat the natural resistance to change within the organization, especially when the internationalization department is being set up for the first time, and you have to share resources with other commercial departments, or simply modify habits acquired in the issuing of documents, taking out international insurance, etc. So it's important that management is aligned with the whole process. Otherwise, you will get the first barrier inside the same company. Also, adaptation of rates and margins to target markets. The cultural alignment between the company and the new market, it's sometimes kind of difficult. Is availability of qualified staff in the team with adequate language and knowledge, and the lack of awareness on the part of the entrepreneur of the need to implement their profiles when it comes to internationalization. Nowadays, we have to face also that the markets are more informed in terms of prices and products, so it requires significant prior preparation from the companies, not only at a technical level, but also with audiovisual media or sufficient quality to be able to compete in a digital world. I'm going to talk about the experience here in Pilma. Pilma is a well-known brand in Barcelona and also in Spain. They have a branch of business which are shops in the city, but then they have the distribution, which is selling to the professionals in the national market, in the international market. They do it by their own brand, which is PLM Design Barcelona, from the same company. And so the first thing I had to do, in accordance with the managing direction, was redefining the brand strategy, creating a concept that could define it and show it in the design market at the clearest and most global way possible. Then I had to restructure the entire network of commercial agents because it was not doing a proper job. Change existing trade policy for foreign markets. They were applying the same trade policy that was working in Spain. Create a multilingual customer service department, which is now developing an online platform, which will improve the attention to the customer. We had to adapt some designs to specific markets of the products, and it was a successful change. Of course, I had to review all administrative processes in order to adapt them to the new documentary and linguistic needs. I would like to conclude telling you that internationalization is not a department. This is a process that it's involving many departments of the company. So you have to be in touch, understanding, controlling, and changing what is needed on each of these departments.